It is great to have Kate Preusser here from Lookout Landing. And Kate, thank you for coming on and joining us in our living room.
No problem. People cannot get enough of the 2026 Seattle Mariners, as I've always said. So.
All right, let's start with Gilbert right off the gate.
Sure.
You know, we talked to Ariel earlier, and she thought that Gilbert should have had a spot on the AL roster. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the AL roster in general, it's pretty weak this year. So it was surprising to me that no member of the Mariners pitching staff was represented. And I think Gilbert didn't start the year out great, but his recent resume really should have earned him a spot there.
Yeah, he loves to grind out those innings. He likes to get to 200 every season. He's at 114 now. So, I mean, he's a workhorse when it comes to this Mariners pitching staff. But, of course, there are a ton of questions to get to when it comes to the M's pitchers and what's going on with this team. But I want to give you one more all-star question. Randy Arozarena, the only Mariners all-star, deservedly so.
Deservedly so. Randy has really made a change this year where he is kind of, after years of, he himself has said this, after years of trying to hit the ball over the fence primarily, he has really embraced that all fields approach that the Mariners hitting instructors preach. And so you're seeing like he's putting the ball in the air less. He's hitting more line drives this year, and he's hitting to all fields. He's using all fields. It's not just that pull power anymore. And the result is great for a contract year, a really more well-rounded hitter.
That's actually going to mention his contract year. So I think that probably had a little bit to do with his wanting to improve a little bit. Is that right?
I would say so. I mean, he's 30, you know, he's looking for kind of that last big contract and proving that he's more than, I think, field-wise, the defense is.
You can look at the camera. It's cool. I can see you're obviously stressed. And we don't want you to come on the show and be stressed.
Be like, Randy, you gotta fix your fielding.
Randy, buddy. Just like I understand it. Like your whole roster is hurt. You have to play, I think, a little more gingerly at times. You cannot be getting hurt when Julio is out with a concussion. When it's the right field defense has been kind of a question mark all year. So I understand it, but yeah, that part of the game is not as well-rounded.
It's not an all-star.
But you know what? They don't hire you for your glove. They hire you for your bat, and he's been doing excellent.
Oh, he sure has. I mean, they need that offense for sure. But I do have to ask you about that question. Over the weekend, the looming question on this road trip and a couple of what looked like a lack of effort maybe from Randy and maybe a little extra cautious because he had the injury and he didn't want to re-injure it. But any thoughts on that when he was chasing that ball in foul ground and Luis Castillo was on the mound?
Yeah, that was hard to watch. I mean, I don't think there's any way that you can sugarcoat that. That was really tough. And you could see the frustration on Castillo's face. Yeah. And I think Castillo is a really good one to use as a barometer for the frustration level of this team because he really is the rock in every single way. Like he is day in and day out the same guy. You cannot tell if he's given up 5 runs or no runs. He's steady, and when he is frustrated, like he was frustrated about the piggyback situation, when he's frustrated by the play in the field, that's a sign that things are not going well.
Yeah, it's telling.
Yeah. It's very much so. So yeah, he's a little bit of the canary in the coal mine, I think, for where this team is, and this is their low point. This is as bad as I've seen them look all year.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up Castillo though as a gauge for this team because he does kind of wear his emotions and then afterward he tries to he kind of backstepped a little, walked that back a little bit on his frustration after that foul ball. But let's move on to some of the positives. You see the Mariners hit the All-Star break 1.5 back. They dropped a game below 500. I sit here week in and week out. I see the Astros getting healthier. And really, Kate, when you look at the Astros, they're there every season. They figure out a way to be right in the hunt. And if those guys can ever stay healthy, much like the Mariners, I think the Astros are going to be there in the end as well.
Maybe. I really do
It's
think
okay to disagree with me. You can say, no, you're wrong, Paul. You don't have to just say maybe. Just stick it right in my face and say, no, Sylvie, you're wrong.
Look, I will believe the Astros are dead when I see the body.
Yeah, right. That's a good point.
I need to touch it, poke it, prod it, make sure it's
Walk over it.
Yes, step on it a little, sure. No, I think that they're a well-constructed team. Like, they're always scary, but they are feeling the brunt this year of just so many years where they weren't picking in the top 10 of the draft. And I hope we can get to the draft because that is one actually fun thing that we can talk about with the Mariners.
We will get
this past
we will get to
weekend.
that. But back with the division though, my concern is that if the Mariners don't win the division, they don't get one of those wild card spots. I think that's how weak this division is. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's probably the worst division in the AL right now. I mean, you look at that and it's that the A's are sort of have fallen down to where we thought they were going to be. The Angels are obviously a disaster fire. The Astros and I think the Rangers are actually, they were kind of my preseason pick for a team that I thought could give the Mariners a run for their money. When they are another one where you have a question of health because of obviously Jacob deGrom, great when he's there, often injured. Their pitching staff is inconsistent. Unfortunately, the Mariners pitching staff has been kind of equally inconsistent, so we're not seeing the advantage in that. But yeah, I'm more scared of the Rangers than I am of the Astros. Yeah. And I agree with you. I think their route to the playoffs has to be through that AL West division title.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, when you look at the rest of the American League as being pretty weak too, outside of the Rays and the Yankees. Cole Young, Cole Emerson, establishing themselves as middle infield of the future. Man, if they can keep those guys together, it could be over a decade of that stuff.
If we want to talk about positivity, Cole Young and what Cole Young has been up to lately has been really, really reassuring. He's had sort of he's been uneven in the box at times. Obviously, defensively, he's been very good all year. I think more than they even dreamed he would be. I think that he is outperforming what they their wildest hopes and dreams for him. And what he's been doing is he's really consistent to his approach in the box. He doesn't change it. He doesn't start swinging out of his shoes. And that's where we hope that Cole Emerson is going to get back to because he's going through rookie, growing pains right now. You're not seeing the best version of Cole Emerson. The Cole Emerson that I watched coming up through the minors, he's fighting it right now. But I have every confidence he's going to get back there.
Trade deadline coming up. That's really kind of the next thing that people are looking forward to on August 3rd. Do you see them? I mean, you think they're going to buy, of course, but then what are they looking for? What types of pieces do you really want them to get at?
Yeah, I know there's been a ton of talk about Wilson Contreras, and I don't see them paying the price for that. I don't see a fit either. They need their guys to play better. So I think what they'll do at the trade deadline is they'll look pretty aggressively for bullpen help, which they need. They've just, you cannot be running some of the names that they have been running the entire Tacoma Rainiers roster out over and over again. And you'll get Matt Brash back. Hopefully you'll get Cooper Criswell back, which I think was an underrated loss this season. He was so steady for them, and that's been a really tough one to weather.
Yeah, Bob Nightingale reported that Luis Castillo is probably the name that they'll dangle at the deadline if they are going to get rid of one of their 6 starting pitchers. Do you buy it?
You can dangle that name. Doesn't mean any fish are going to bite. And I think with the contract and with the performance, it's not, people don't want Luis Castillo, frankly speaking. I want Luis Castillo. I think it stinks for him that on this particular pitching staff, he gets a little shuffled aside sometimes. There are 29 teams out there that would be thrilled to have a Luis Castillo. I don't know if they'd be thrilled to have him at his current cost, and I don't know that they'd be willing to return anything to the Mariners that would significantly move the needle.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that contract is tough to move around for sure.